on YouTube and then on Instagram. And we're live. Eben, Klopper, and Kegan, Walsh, welcome to Coffee and Conversations with Champions. Gents, thanks for joining us. Guys, thanks for coming on together as well. Really cool. It's the first time we've had two athletes on the podcast from different locations. So I think, what do you think? Did the setup look pretty good? We got to keep it narrow for Instagram. So that's a lot. But yeah, welcome, guys. It's great to have you Oaks on.
Thank you very much, Nick. Hi, Kegan. How are you?
I am good. And yourself, Brett? How's it going?
Good, thanks. Nice to see that the haircut's doing well.
Yeah, shots. I like yours too.
Well, Kak, I better, all right, okay, I'll go and see my barber just now. Hold on. For me, I shaved my head and I had a big beard for about 15 years. And then all of my mates started to go bald and shave their heads and grow their beards. So I shaved my beard and grew my hair just to annoy them. So, but
I was bald by 25.
Jeez, okay. But listen, a shaved head is a lot more comfortable. I got to tell you that, particularly with training. So, guys, welcome to. It's awesome to have you both. I think let's start off with Eben. If you can give us a little bit of a background, and then Kegan the same as well. So, Eben, you first, please.
Okay, so I actually started Strongman about 2 years ago, I think in 2023. I met a mate in the gym, Jock Boshoff, and he said, listen, don't you guys want to come out and train and try Strongman? And the rest is history. Just fell in love with the sport, the people, the brotherhood that comes with it. And yeah, I've been enjoying it ever since.
Epic. That's the message that I get from everyone sort of that we chat to. Just when you're not training, what do you do sort of for a living? Because the reason I'm asking is, we're not there's not professional athletes yet in the sport in South Africa. Everybody's sort of got to be self-sufficient, and that's something hopefully that we're trying to change through this podcast. So, what do you do in the world?
My day-to-day life is I'm a project manager for a solar company. So that's day-to-day, a lot of traveling, being a pain in the ass for other people. So that's the day-to-day.
Awesome. Very cool. Kegan, if you could give us a brief intro, please. How did you get into Strongman and what do you do?
Okay, so I was studying in Durban in 2008 and went to my local gym. And I met Anton from Savage Support. So I gymmed there for a couple of years, and then he basically got me into powerlifting. And then my first strongman comp was in 2010.
Jeez,
so
it's been a while.
So I've been doing powerlifting, strongman since then. But I haven't done anything strongman or powerlifting since COVID.
Okay.
So it's been a good 5 years, but I've just wanted to try and get back into it, and then
that's going to be awesome.
Just try and get back into the camaraderie of competing and everybody cheering and just have a good time.
I think you picked the right competition for that, most definitely.
Yeah,
it's going to be incredible. Yeah. You mentioned powerlifting and strongman. I see Jean-Arthur Pretorius has joined us. He's viewing on Instagram, and it's something that I see with certain powerlifters. I think there's an itch that's maybe not being filled entirely with powerlifting competitions.
Yeah, I think I actually went to SA Powerlifting, and I think John Arthur was in my category. I can't remember if he was a category below me or a category above me, but he kicked everybody's ass.
I was going to say, if a guy deadlifted 1,200 million kilograms, it was Jean.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. So, I think then for you, Kegan, just as the question, what do you get from Strongman? I know Eben mentioned sort of the brotherhood and so on, and I want to go a little bit more into that with both of you guys.
For me, obviously, like I've been competing for so long and I've had lots of injuries, and for me, it's just trying to beat yourself. Trying to get those PBs in and obviously do better than you did the year before. So that's what I get out of the strongman. But the main part is just everybody comes together and helps you. And I remember my first strongman comp ever. I mean, I didn't even know what I was doing, but I had like Tristan O'Brien, who actually set the log press, the South African log press record. I think it was in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
He gave me a whole lot of tips on how to log press, and so it's just it's really cool that everybody comes together and supports each other. And yeah, that's one of the biggest reasons why I do that.
Sure.
Do this.
I think that's something that I got also from Jean Arthur when we chatted to him yesterday, from Sam as well. And so for Eben, what do you think it is that makes the sport so special, where guys are sharing knowledge on the different disciplines to enable you to become better and potentially even beat them?
I think the biggest thing for me is discipline and respect. As in any sport, discipline is very important.
Hmm.
So the respect between the guys, I mean, I trained with Kegan one time, and the advice they even gave me as a complete noob in the sport. There's no other sport where you just walk in and people want to help you and people want to see you progress. So yeah, strongman gives me a lot of discipline, gives me a reason to go to the gym, get up, do stuff that I don't normally do.
Mm-hmm.
And then people like Kegan, Blake, Jock, Ben, all those guys make it even that much more special.
So we've got a comment here from Ginger B, Strongman, the family vibe between all the athletes. I think absolutely. The thing that I've
Yes.
learnt now a lot about in these interviews, because I wasn't really exposed much to strongman, primarily powerlifting, and we started this podcast in 2023 at World Bench at Sun City, and it's evolved into that, and it's been amazing coming into these different strength sports. But for powerlifters, I might get a little bit of cuck for this. You can do a powerlifting session in 20 minutes. 25 minutes if you really discipline. Maybe an hour.
Yeah.
You want to throw in some accessories. But every strongman that I've spoken to, 3 hours, 4 hours. Chatting to a young athlete.
If you have a good,
yep, go for it.
if you have a good squat session, you should be there for like an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you guys are training for 3 or 4 hours at a time, and with the different disciplines and things.
Yeah.
What is it that gives you do you think it's a specific person that has that drive and focus?
Eben?
Yep.
Okay, I'll go first.
Yeah.
I think if you fall in love with sport, it just gives you that drive. So I was lucky enough to be brought into sport by my mom and my dad from an early age.
Mm-hmm.
So that drive's just been in me throughout rugby and throughout going to the gym. And then just meeting like-minded people in strongman community just makes it that much more fun and easier to wake up in the morning to do it.
Love that. A comment here from a young lady that I spoke to this morning, Pro-Am Strongman, the support we get from athletes and the encouragement we get from each other. We're all family. That is a message that I'm getting. Is that something that's in the sport, or do you think that's something uniquely South African within the sport?
No, 100%. Like Eben said, everybody's out there to help you and give you tips and share equipment. And I mean, I went to Static Monsters comp in 2018, and I mean Dean Shelley bought one of the newer guys a brand new Savage belt,
sure,
because he didn't have one. So yeah, it's just everybody tries to help everybody out.
I think there's going to be quite a bit of equipment available for purchase at the comp. So I think that's going to be absolutely fantastic. With the career and with the injuries and the challenges of performing at an elite level, and I'll open the question up to both of you, and maybe start with Kegan. What is it that keeps you coming back? What is it that keeps you engaged in the sport?
Obviously, I mean, we all love strongman and we love strength sports. And I think for me, it's just trying to prove to myself that I can do better each year.
Okay.
So obviously with the injuries, we go back down. It takes a couple months, takes a year. But as long as you just get back up to that level and you can prove to yourself that you can carry on going, get stronger, that's kind of what it is for me.
Keep striving to be the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So I'm not really trying to compare myself to anybody
mm-mm.
else. I'm just trying to compare myself to the day before.
Okay,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And for you, Eben, what is it that keeps you coming back and engaged in the sport?
I think strongman really teaches us all a very hard life lesson that you get kicked down,
Mm,
you go to rock bottom, but if you're willing to and you always put in the work, you will get up there.
sure.
Even if it's just for yourself, like Kegan said, it's not to prove a point or to be the best. It's to prove a point to yourself and to prove that you can take hardships in life and eventually get to the top again.
I think that's such an important lesson, and it's such a valuable lesson because one of the I think it was maybe the conversation with Dean last night, talking about where you have perhaps a large section of the younger population that are growing up with a sense of entitlement, unfortunately, because things have been so easy. They're expecting everything to go easy. They're expecting to get things their way. I think the culture of everybody wins, everybody gets a trophy, has been incredibly damaging to self-development because we only really grow and develop within pain. And there's a wonderful quote by a sports psychologist and competitive shooter in Utah, the United States, Brian Enos. He said, sport is about growth. You have the opportunity to challenge yourself beyond any other means available to you in daily life. And I've been fortunate enough to be involved in powerlifting and in martial arts, but the sense I'm getting, strongman is incredibly tough from the training sessions to the competition. I think it's one of the toughest sports out there, if not the toughest, because of the demands that it's placing on people. And I just sort of would like your guys' thoughts on that in terms of the sport for self-development, perhaps particularly for younger people. So, Eben, do you want to
If
grab
you'd
this
like
one?
to kick
Yeah,
off,
yeah.
okay, I'll
You
grab
got to
it.
go rock, paper, scissors. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the culture hanging around these days where all of us are hanging around a laptop and an
Mm,
iPad and game console is something we as children never had. We were forced to get out there to meet new people, to face hardships. So I feel that's what strongman does to the community, and I feel that's what it will help with in the younger
hmm
generation is to force yourself to be human again, to get
Sure.
out there, to meet new people, to fail, to lose, and then to show yourself that you can get back up and win again.
Sure. I love that. Thank you. Kegan?
Yeah, just like Dean was saying last night, obviously he just wants this comp to be a success
Mm,
because obviously the more popular it gets, the more people will get into the sport. So I think that's what we're trying to achieve here is just try and get it out there, get more people in, get more people coming to train with us, and yeah, hopefully get some more world's strongest men.
and use that as an opportunity for people
Yeah,
to become better every
yeah.
day. We got a great comment again from Ginger Beast within the sport worldwide. I think that was back to the question on, is it just a South African thing or is it a sport thing? So worldwide, a fantastic community. Within the opportunity to use sport to grow and develop and to challenge yourself and to push yourselves, what has powerlifting taught you? Excuse me, what is strongman? Obviously, run out of look at that. You see, run out of coffee. It's a problem. Um, what has strongman taught you about yourselves? Kegan, we'll start with you.
It's just nothing comes easy. You need to work your ass off to get those results. I mean, you can't just go into the gym and spend half an hour and hope to pull a PB or something. It takes for me. It's taken years and years and years and years to try and actually get to what I'm happy with. Well, I mean, will we ever be happy with what we lift? I don't think so.
Nope.
But
Yeah.
yeah, just you need to obviously train and the discipline and the training and the eating and the sleeping and
Mm.
that's tough, eh? It's hard work.
It's a full-on commitment. Sure. Eben, for
Yeah.
you?
So basically for me, it's like Kegan said, the training, the eating, it just disciplines you to a point where it's a 1-to-1 ratio. When you miss something, when you when you go half-ass into a training, it's all up to you. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio. What you put in, you'll get out. And it teaches me to be more human as well. I mean, John Arthur opens his doors for me every other weekend to go train with him. I mean, he's one of my biggest competitors, but he's always willing to help me. So it teaches us to be human and then to face your own hardships as well and to help other people out of those hardships.
Sure, phenomenal. And I think also the sense of community, that's what I get from this. There are two great answers, guys. Thank you. And it made me think of, I have an athlete, and Dr. Yaniv Lakob. I can mention his name because I've spoken about this before. And I do take, as his coach, the opportunity to tease him in public as often as possible, which I think is important. But, he came from a place where for 3 years he couldn't qualify for nationals in powerlifting. He couldn't make the qualifying criteria to compete. And in the third year or the fourth year that he did it, he qualified, he won. And then he went on to win at an international level. And that was only because he was showing up every day. And the heartbreak and the heartache at provincials when he just didn't get the numbers, whether it was the deadlift where he got it up, but he stepped, and just showing up. I think those are such valuable lessons that we can learn and carry through to our lives. I wanted to ask you guys a little bit, whatever you're willing to share. I don't want to get into trouble here, whether with coaches or with athletes, but what are you looking to do on Saturday? Anything we can expect? Anything you'd like to share about the competition? I think, Eben, I'll start with you again.
Okay, so the main goal is to beat yourself. I think that's the main goal of strongman. Of course, all of us would like to podium, would like to be the strongest SA under 90 kilogram athlete. But at the end of the day, it's what you put in. So it's beating yourself, and that's what I want to go and prove, is that I'm getting better every competition, and that it's just fun to be out there with the guys.
Awesome. And for you, Kegan?
Yeah, pretty much the same. So yeah, like I said, I haven't done a strongman comp for 5 years, and I've only been prepping for about 3-4 months. So I've managed to kind of get the comp weights under wraps. So
Awesome.
as long as I can just go there and complete each event, I'll be happy with that.
Okay, awesome. And not to make any fun of you in any way, but you're also not getting the altitude advantage of coming down from the reef, where like a little bit of extra oxygen. Well, I suppose you could
I'm
say,
not too far from Durban, so
yeah,
it should be good. Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. For the competition, what do you think a comp of this standard, for both of you guys, I'll start with Kegan, what do you think a comp of this standard is going to do for the sport of strongman?
Yeah, we should have lots of like spectators and stuff. But I think the way we kind of will reach people is more on the social media side. So if they can just see how well the comp is going to be run. I know Dean and Blake. I've been to one of their comps, well, many of their comps before. Blake and Dean can run a comp like so smoothly. So as long as everything runs smoothly, everything's on time, everything's posted nicely on social media, we kind of get it out there, then yeah, it'll be quite good.
It's going to be epic. Thank you. No pressure on our side.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. From yourself, Eben?
Yeah, I think, like Kegan said, I think we need to get the word out there a bit more, and the easiest way to do it is through social media. So thank you for Emmett Media and yourself, Nick, for doing this. I think this is the first time we're actually going through the media steps like this. Kegan and I actually had a laugh before we came onto this.
Uh-oh.
So I think this helps a lot. And just to show everyone out there that strongman doesn't have a stigma around it. We're actually all decent people, and we just love to have a laugh and to have fun.
That's also phenomenal. And I think that's the big thing where chatting to some this morning, she was saying that Vinny was saying, that one of the athletes he's always grumpy at competitions. I'm not going to mention names, Amond, and but inside he's a big teddy bear, always looking grumpy at comps, but a bit. And I think that's the sense that I'm getting. And also I think even with powerlifters or any of the strength athletes that we've had the opportunity to spend some time with, like we all looking big, fierce, and intimidating, but inside, kind, caring, considerate, just gentle, compassionate people. And I think that really is that's what I love about this opportunity to chat with you guys, to show who the athletes are, who's the athlete behind the lift, right?
Mm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's it. If we're looking at just a couple of questions about the sport, I think, would you guys like to see strongman as an option in schools?
Ex-
I
Yeah.
think the strongman might be a little too extreme for schools. So I think maybe something a bit more controlled would be the powerlifting.
Okay, as a
So
stepping
I mean,
point.
obviously, yeah, obviously the schools. I mean, most high schools these days have like these amazing gyms.
Yeah.
So I mean, if they could start with squat, bench, deadlift at schools, that would be pretty awesome. But I don't know if we could kind of get strongman into schooling. That's let's be honest, the schools are going to say it's too dangerous or
Yeah,
something.
100%. And it's so interesting because it is that differentiation and that variation of events that will prep you very well for life. But I agree. I think a powerlifting base
Well,
is a great start.
I must say, all my injuries have come from powerlifting, and none of them have come from strongman.
Yeah. That's it. Powerlifting and rugby, there you go.
Yeah.
I suppose, is strongman more dangerous than rugby, or is rugby more dangerous than strongman?
I'd probably say rugby because
Yeah.
it's more
Yeah.
contact.
More
Agreed,
more contact and more, it's far less predictable with who's running into you, who's bumping into you, and so on.
Yeah.
We do have another comment from a young lady that I spoke to this morning. It's okay, Eben also, but they're always willing to help. I think that's about being grumpy and scary at competitions.
Mm.
So there we go. As a sport for strongman within South Africa, what would you guys, having spent time in the sport, like to see for the future?
I would say more ladies coming into competing.
100%.
Like, I mean, a couple years ago, we had quite a lot of ladies in strongman, but yeah, that would be quite nice if we got more
What do you think the
women
challenge?
involved.
What has sort of prevented that? What is your sense?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe they just think it's not really for women, or which was silly.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, it's just. I think it's kind of maybe a bit too extreme. Yeah.
Okay.
Not really sure.
So maybe we just need to get more exposure. I mean, if you look at what happened with Formula One, and when Liberty Media took over, and the Netflix specials and all of this, now suddenly everybody is a Formula One fan. So, and speaking of strong women and women in strongman, we're here chatting because of Amelia. And, Amelia is head of powerlifting for KZN, but she was the one who put us in touch with Dean.
Yeah, I'm also on the committee with Amelia for KZN.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Even go ahead. Sorry, Kegan.
No. So I see Amelia quite often, and I train with her at Dean's place quite often.
Okay. Are you one of the bullies as well with Dean?
No, not at all. Dean bullies all of us.
Okay, cool. Fair enough. Just before we go to Eben, we got another comment here from Ginger Beast. Went down since Zena passed.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's,
So Zena, she was a strongman and powerlifter. She was ridiculously strong. I think she passed away maybe 4 years ago, 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she was probably the strongest woman in South Africa has ever seen.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's I think strength for ladies, particularly in this country, is a wonderful gift. And the opportunity to develop it and to showcase it and compete with it is something that women deserve and that they need. So hopefully we can find some more role models and showcase them and let people start looking at coming into the sport. Thank you for that, Kegan. Even from your side, what would you like to see happening in strongman in South Africa in the future?
I think the biggest thing for me is getting the word out there that it's not only a big man sport. There is weight classes and there is women classes as well, because everyone sees it on TV and you get the stigma that you have to be 6 foot over and over 130 kilograms. And that's the stigma I had until I met Jacques Boshoff and he actually told me, listen, there is a novice category, there is weight classes. So I think if we get that word out there, it might be a bit easier to get numbers in.
Okay. So you can compete at different weights in different classes. And I think, we're chatting to Jacques at 1 p.m. Any messages? Any chirps? Just a bit of fun.
No, nobody can chirp Jacques. Jacques is an absolute beast.
Okay, awesome. Love that.
Well, I'll attest to chirping Jacques. I train with him every day, so he is chirpable.
Yeah,
but just stand at a distance.
Yeah. Or bring cheesecake. We chat.
Yeah.
I think we're chatting to Keelan tomorrow at 10. So I'm going to try and time our drive down to do it from Blueberry Cafe. So we have a piece of cheesecake, and I said, I hope you don't mind me having that. He said, no, he's competing in opens. It's fine. So there we go. There's also that option, right? You don't have to worry about the weight. One of the couple of questions I like to ask our guests, and we'll do it in order. First, the four of them, three are a bit of fun. One of them is a little bit serious. So let's go with the first one. I'll open it up to Eben. What do you love about strongman and strongman competition?
Pushing yourself, just showing yourself that you can be better every day. Life kicks you down, but you can get up to it, and everyone just willing you on to be the best that you can be. You can be a novice lifter that's trying your first 200 kilogram deadlift, or be a pro-am and trying your first 300, 320 deadlift. Everyone's willing you on and cheering.
Sure.
So that camaraderie really makes you want to do more.
That's absolutely fantastic. Love that. Kegan, for yourself?
Yeah, just being able to put the training to the test and see what my body can do.
Sure. Yeah. Phenomenal. And I think that also goes to the training, the recovery, the rest, the nutrition. I think if you're performing well, it means you're looking after yourself appropriately. So then our second question to Kegan, and then we'll go to Eben. A little bit of fun. What drives you mad about strongman or strongman training?
What drives me mad?
I love that facial.
I'm trying to think. I don't. Obviously, it's not really fun. But if you miss a rep or you can't get something on the day, and then you go home and eat a tub of ice cream and you're depressed.
Right.
But nothing really. Maybe the choice of music that Dean plays for us when we're trying to lift.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about that quickly.
Yeah, he likes to play like 80s R&B.
Wow. Okay.
So it's quite hard to get in the mood when you've got Lionel Richie playing in the background.
You really got to fire yourself up. Is that why he asked me to bring down my Barry White CDs?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. One of the things that we are going to do is because of copyright on music and playing on YouTube, we actually had to start a record label. So we're bringing down 2 albums that we've created. One we did now for WPC Nationals, and we've created one just for you guys. So I have a development academy where we train coaches and our streaming team, all of the guys have come through that academy. But even we have producers as well that we support that are from disadvantaged communities. So that's going to be a vibey album. It's going to kick butt. So hopefully you guys are going to enjoy that. We're bringing down 2 of our monster speakers. So there'll be good announcing and loud music. And if you guys want, I'm happy to do it. We'll point both of them at the athletes and not at the audience. Not 1-1. We can give them both to you guys and let you guys fire it up. Maybe what I'll actually do is I'll share the, it's called Emmet Beats. There's one, the album you can look at is called Out of the Darkness. And that's really, I named those tracks after the conversations I've had with athletes and what the sport means to them in terms of dealing with mental health, with loneliness, finding community. And if you pick your tracks, you can hear some of them are pretty vibey, and hopefully we'll have the new album up and ready on Spotify by Saturday. So that's going to be very cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Keen to get pumped up.
No, you got to get you guys fired up. So let's bring some Lionel Richie. Let's bring some Celine Dion.
Let's start.
The house version of Celine Dion. No, what's it? What do they call it? Polka. That music, the polka version. Oh, there we go.
Yes.
No. All right, a little bit of Johannes Kerkorrel, some Blessed Bridges, and no. Okay, hell no. So, Eben, for you, what drives you mad about powerlifting? Once you got that, we'll go to a couple of the comments here.
Personally, sandbags. I hate the sandbag medley. I hate running.
Yeah.
So done enough of that on school and rugby,
Yeah.
but nothing really in the sports that I hate. Just a few events like sandbags. So we'll try and not pass out on that on Saturday.
On the sandbag, 100%. It's like, for me, I'm still trying to get my head around this as a power lifter, the cardio element, because I don't think people realize how intense, how much the cardio system is working, because you guys it's crazy. And then you got to rest, let the system calm down a bit, and then ramp it all back up, keep it all. You got to give 100%, but make sure you still get through to the end of the day. I take my hat off to you guys. It's unbelievable. People say that weightlifters are the elite athletes. I think you guys are really showing the world that it's something very different. We have a comment from a young lady called Amelia, and looking great, Kegan.
I love Amelia.
So there we go. No. Very,
but we help each other out as much as we can, and she was actually looking for a deadlift suit to go to Worlds, and I actually managed to dig around in my garage and find an old deadlift suit that would fit her. So she like I said, we just help each other out.
That's awesome.
Try and help the athletes out as much as we can, because like I said, we're all family and we're all in this together.
And until we can get the help from provincial or government level or corporate sponsors, we got to be able to help out one another. I mean, that's very, very special. There's another one here for you, Kegan, from Coach Rich. I think the thing that Kegan hates the most is tracking his progress and giving feedback to his coach. Is there something on that you'd like to share?
So work has just been a little bit crazy lately, and training and life, and so that's my coach Ricardo from Muscle Pro Gym.
Yep.
He swears at me daily for not tracking my workouts.
Okay, fair enough. Is he coming down? Is he driving down for the comp?
No, he's in Bloemfontein, unfortunately.
So come on, Ricardo, get down here, man. I drove down to ref one of his comps. The least he can do is come down and visit you, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's not that big a difference in time. All right, cool. So third question, a little bit more serious, and we'll start with Kegan. What has strongman and what has strongman training given you?
Obviously it you got you disciplined, and you train, and you're doing it for yourself, and you're trying to better your numbers the previous years. And I mean, obviously, sometimes it doesn't go according to plan. Sometimes you don't hit the numbers. You can choose to give up or keep on moving. Um, and then obviously, yeah, having a coach and stuff always pushing you. So that's good. And then yeah, just trying to be better each day and
Yeah.
get stronger
Eh,
and not give up. And obviously, like things get a bit tougher as you get older. So yeah, I'm getting old now, so training is getting a bit harder, and having kids and a wife and a job, and so it takes doesn't take that much time to lose. Or it does. You can lose strength quite quickly, but it takes a very long time to stay strong and get strong.
and to get it
So
back.
that's
Yeah.
just been tough. Yeah.
But it's wonderful lessons to learn in a place that's relatively safe, that doesn't have massive impact on the rest of your life in terms of things not going well. So great answer. Love that. Thank you. Eben, for you, please.
Yeah, so mental strength, I think that's the biggest thing strongman has taught me, and the strength of support behind you. I couldn't be doing this without my girlfriend doing all the cooking and going through all the mood swings when you would drop weight, and all of this stuff keeps you mentally strong as well. You show yourself every day that you can lose 6 kilograms in a week, and
Sure.
you can push a little bit harder, and you can overcome things that people said you'll never be able to do. So I think mental strength is the biggest thing that strongman has taught me over the years.
Love that. Thank you. And I think on those answers, it's really people need to come out and watch the competition. Parents, particularly if you've got kids that are stuck on a couch or that are not integrating well, not making friends, a little bit, the kid in the basement on the computer or whatever. It's a great environment. And, I think with you guys, you'll be happy to chat to anyone at the comp, when you've got time and you're able to tell them about the sport, to share the sport. And really a call to parents, get out to the competition. If you can't, at least join us online and expose your kids to this amazing thing, because as Kegan said, maybe you then start with powerlifting and it's something that you can progress to. But I think the standard that we have in South Africa with the coaching, with the guys involved in the sport, it can be a safe sport because it's not something that you're going to want to, get hurt in. Your thoughts on that, guys?
I think strongman is like Kegan said, it's a bit dangerous to get into just from school level. But I think conditioning wise, with the sports that we have in school level at the moment, doing a light farmer's carry for conditioning in rugby, or a tire flip, or whatever keeps your condition, the sandbag carry, a nice light sandbag carry, it can be all incorporated to what's there at the moment, and help you be a better rugby player, a better sport player. And eventually, when you do fall in love with the sport, the doors are always open, and I think the family is rearing to get bigger.
Oh, phenomenal. Love that. Kegan, anything from yourself?
Oh, that's Eben's
Summed it
knocked it
up.
on the head there.
100%.
Yeah.
I think, one of the things as well that I've experienced in these conversations over the last few years is a lot of the South African guys are very passionate about rugby. They show great potential, great aptitude, and they have a bright future ahead of them. But something happens. There's an injury or things wind down. And so many guys that I've spoken to, there's been an injury, and that's how, for example, they found powerlifting. For those older guys, so maybe varsity, post-varsity, where that rugby career has unfortunately been cut short, why should they consider strongman if they're physically able to participate?
Well,
Because
I got injured. Sorry, Kegan.
Yeah.
I got injured with rugby as well, and actually stopped a few years ago.
Yeah.
My back was giving me problems, and funny enough, with training and doing training the right way, people would think that your back will get worse, and mine actually got exponentially better. And I just feel healthy. It gives you a reason to compete, and all of us like to compete. All of us want to show ourselves that we are the best. So I think mentally, it's very nice to get into another sport that you can compete in.
Sure, love that. And it is. It's like, I think if you are a competitor and you have that taken away from you and you're not able to replace it with something healthy, can be very destructive to your quality of life. Kegan.
Yeah, I would just say getting into it, it's just awesome lifting heavy shit.
Yeah. And moving with it as well. We have another comment for Kegan from Jason De Beer. There we go. Keeg, you sexy thing. I need to play some sexy. We can't because then YouTube will shut us down. But you guys can hear the song in your
so
head.
just a story about Jason. So, he was just a teenager when he did his first comp. Like I said, he came to the comp with absolutely no equipment.
Yeah.
And Dean Shelley actually bought him a belt and wraps and pretty much everything. And now since then he's gotten into strongman, and he's been training. He's got a coach. He's been lifting heavy. And he's doing the comp on Saturday as well. And it just shows you that literally from a beginner with absolutely nothing, and now he's going to be doing SA Strongest Man.
Oh, that's awesome. And we definitely then need to chat to him as well. King, maybe we can get you on to comment as we can do a joint interview. That'll be
perfect.
Yeah, that'll be fantastic. Awesome. With regards to the comp, just as we start to wrap up, the competition on Saturday, what would you like to say to potential spectators? Why should they come out, and what should they? Oh, hold on. This is an interesting one. Hang on. Here we go from Greg. I told you, Dean for president. Let's go, Keegs for PMB power. There we go. Are you Maritzburg based?
Yes, I am actually.
The most dangerous road in the world between Maritzburg and Durban. Yo, that thing.
Yes.
Anytime, day or night, it's insane.
I think Maritzburg is the dangerous city in South Africa.
Yeah, 100. No, I'm going to get myself into trouble with my client. Those girls from Wickham Collegiate, they're dangerous. No. But I got a good mate of mine, Simon Bretsky, who's a phenomenal powerlifter, who's in Maritzburg, and the Workout Warehouse in Howick. Also a great gym, great bunch of guys up there. So really good environment. It's a nice town.
No, I've been there before.
So very, very cool. So just, why should people be coming through to the competition? What can they get?
Who doesn't want to see guys pulling a truck and lifting some stones?
Yeah. Sorry, who doesn't want to see guys pulling a truck legally?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Love it. And from you, Eben?
I think to come out, you never know what you're missing if you don't go out and experience stuff. Maybe you fall in love with the sport, and give the sponsors a bit of support as well. NMI and Dean and Blake and all these guys really put a lot of work into it. So let's pull together and just have a fun day. And like Kegan said, let's see some guys lift heavy shit.
It's going to be absolutely, absolutely off the hook. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to? Anything that you guys would like to say or share just before we wrap up?
Yeah, just Dean and Blake for always going above and beyond for strongman in South Africa. They've always helped me out as much as they can, and they always put on an awesome comp. So it's going to be awesome.
Awesome, thank you. From you, Eben?
Yeah, Dean, Blake, NMI, Jock, my coach, and all the spouses and families out there that has to sit with us training 2 hours at night and with the diet and the weight drop. So a shout out to all the families that go through this with us.
Absolutely. I've got to give we got to do that for the families. And throw up some hearts. As I say, I always wanted to be a 1970s DJ. There we go. Guys, thank you so much for your time. And particularly this close to the competition, I'm incredibly grateful that you guys are jumping in. Because I think it's the responsibility as well, not just of the organizers, but of the athletes to bring it and to bring 100%. And this close to comp, every hour is precious. It's either work, rest, recovery, or training. So I'm very grateful to both of you. Eben, Kegan, thank you so much for your time, guys.
Thanks, Nick.
It was absolutely
Thank you,
epic.
guys. Thanks, Nick.
Lekker.
Looking
Cheers, guys. Lekker, Eben.
yeah, lekker. That's it.
See you on Saturday.
Yeah, shots. Well, I'll see you in the weigh-in tomorrow.
Yeah,
On Friday.
Yeah, we'll all look very hungry and thirsty. So
Yeah.
looking forward to that.
Apparently, Dean's got a boerewors roll truck there. It's 1,800 rand a boerewors roll, and he's got a big fan to be blowing smoke over the weigh-in area.
The best place to make money now is the weigh-ins.
The weigh 100%. Guys, for you, travel safe, and looking forward to meeting you at the comp, and looking forward to an absolutely epic comp. We're going to be taking photos as well, so we'll be able to put some really cool photo packages together for you guys that you can use in your social media or however you want. And please share the link on to our YouTube channel. We want as many spectators as possible. We were down there a couple of weeks ago for the Comrades, and I'm actually chatting to a guy, Theo Adams, who's a Comrades runner after you guys, but we had up to 27,000 views over the course of the Comrades Day, because we were a fixed camera. We were doing a stream for a group down in Natal, and it was epic. So we want to bring the numbers to this event as well. So thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Awesome. Gentlemen, have a good one, and we will see you there. Look after yourselves, guys. Take care.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye, guys. Bye. Absolutely fantastic, guys. Thank you for joining us. What an epic episode. First time we've had two athletes in different areas chatting to us at the same time. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your support. Stick around. We're chatting to Theo Adams now, Comrades marathon runner. That's going to be phenomenal. After that, we've got Jacques Boshoff at 1 o'clock, and then we're going to go straight into Jason De Beer. Can't wait to chat to him at 4 p.m. David Bezuidenhout at 5 p.m. and at 6 p.m. Desan Govender. Very busy day. Then we got to pack up the vehicle and get ready. We're hitting the road at about 4 a.m. tomorrow morning, and at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, we're going to have that awesome interview with Keelan for you guys. So thank you for joining us. Stay with us. We'll be back with you in about 10 minutes.